again come back with new lesson, which is literary devices. As I told you earlier that it's very long video, so we couldn't complete it in one video. Therefore, I made a part 2, and in this video I have added some more valuable literary terms, and I hope you would like it. Let's start. Literary devices part 2. Here we are going to talk about more literary devices like apostrophe, and definition of apostrophe is: in literature, apostrophe is a figure of speech sometimes represented by an exclamation such as "oh." A writer or speaker using apostrophe speaks directly to someone who is not present or is dead, or speak to as an inanimate object. Apostrophe examples are: "Then come, sweet death, and rid me of this grief." Queen Isabel in Edward II by Christopher Marlowe. These lines has been taken by Queen Isabel in Edward II by Christopher Marlowe. And the second one is "O Holy Night, the stars are brightly shining," Adolphe Adam. And the second one is anagnorisis. Definition of anagnorisis is a moment in a plot or a story. It's a moment. It comes in a plot or story as a moment, especially a tragedy where the main character either recognizes or identifies his/her true nature, recognizes the other character's true identity, discovers the true nature of the situation. Anagnorisis is in Macbeth. Macbeth believed that he is invincible because the witches have prophesied that he cannot be killed by anyone born of woman. Yet on the battlefield, it is revealed that Macduff was ultimately derived from his mother's womb, C-section. Macbeth realizes that it is Macduff who will kill him. And then euphemism. Euphemism definition is: the term euphemism refers to polite, indirect expressions that euphemism is an idiomatic expression which loses its literal meaning and refers to something else in order to hide its unpleasantness. For example, "kick the bucket" is a euphemism that describes the death of a person. In addition, many organizations use the term downsizing for the distressing act of firing its employees. Examples of euphemism are negative patient outcome instead of died. Here we are using negative patient phrase rather using instead of die. Collateral damage instead of accidental deaths. So here not using that the death has been caused by accident, we are using the word collateral damage. Deus ex machina. Definition of Deus machina: the term Deus ex machina refers to the circumstances where an implausible concept or a divine character is introduced into a storyline for the purpose of resolving its conflict and procuring an interesting outcome. The example is: in the end of the play, Theseus, the sea goddess, appears to Peleus. She comes to take Peleus back with her to her ocean home. The play ends with Peleus going with Theseus, his wife, into the ocean. And then we are going to move into internal rhyme. It's very important and most of the time has been asked in exam. So let's discuss about the definition of the internal rhyme. Internal rhyme is a poetic device that can be defined as metrical lines in which its middle words and its end words rhyme with one another. It is also called middle rhyme since it comes in the middle of lines. And types of internal rhymes: same line, rhyme in the same line comes when the words rhyme in a single line. For example, "once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary." And then second one is separate line. Rhyme in separate lines comes when two or more words rhyme in the middle of the separate lines. For example, "while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping." "As of someone gently rapping at my chamber door." End of end, middle of line. Rhyme of the words at the end of lines and words in the middle of the lines come when the words at the end of the lines rhyme with the words in the middle of the line. Aposiopesis. Definition of aposiopesis is derived from a Greek word that means becoming silent.
quite. It is a rhetorical device that can be defined as a figure of speech in which we can give the example of from the adventures of Tom Sawyer. She looked perplexed of a moment and then said, not fiercely, but still loud enough for the furniture to hear, well, I lay if I get hold of you all. Well, I lay if I get hold of you all is a aposiopesis. The speaker or writer breaks off abruptly and leaves the statement incomplete. It is that if the speaker is not willing to state what is present in his mind, due to being overcome by passion, excitement or fear. In a piece of literature, it means to leave a sentence unfinished so that the reader can determine his own meaning. So the reader can interpret the meaning in their own way. Cacophony. If speak literally, cacophony points to a situation in which there is a mixture of harsh and inharmonious sounds in literature. However, the term refers to the use of words with sharp, harsh, hissing, unmelodious sounds, primarily those of consonants, to achieve desired results. The following are examples of words that are considered unpleasant and use cacophony. Oz, hiss, scratch, shriek, leech. Edgar Allan Poe, the poet, uses cacophony in his poetry. Look at the passage below. In the startled ear of night, how they scream out their affright, too much horrified to speak, they can only shriek, shriek. Cliché refers to an expression that has been overused to the extent that it loses its original meaning or novelty. A cliché may also refer to actions and events that are predictable because of some previous events. Common cliché sayings, all that glitters is not gold. Don't get your knickers in a twist. We can say here, all that glitters is not gold means हर चमकती चीज सोना नहीं होती, like that we can use in English as well. And the cliché that describe life, love and emotions. All is fair in love and war, all's well that ends well. अंत भला तो सब भला. Ambiguity. Ambiguity or fallacy of ambiguity is a word, phrase or statement which contains more than one meaning. Ambiguous words of statement lead to vagueness of confusion and shape the basic of instances of unintentional humor. Example of ambiguity in literature and speech is in The Rose by William Blake. There is enough ambiguity about what is meant by rose, sick, bad of joy, warm, that his poem is open to many interpretations. O rose, thou art sick. So today it brings to me end, and I hope this lesson definitely helpful to all of you, and I will come back with new lesson. Till then, you take care and bye bye. Thanks for watching.